Life is not a level playing field.
It's not fair.
Not fair.
Why should we always believe that things need to be fair in different aspects of our businesses as well? Why aren't we using our own unfair advantage to get ahead? The Miles framework is a categorization of different types of unfair advantages and how you make use of them. We're going to cover that below. Hey guys, my name is Jay, and I'm here to talk about a game-changing concept, unfair advantages. In the pursuit of success, it's essential to recognize that life isn't always fair. And instead of cry about it, it's often these inequalities that can give us an edge. Let's look into this book called The Unfair Advantage. So my immediate impression of the book, it's a fresh approach to look at what has happened in your life. This could be an oversimplified, but looking for lemons so you can make lemonade. Here's an example that was used in the book, which I actually thought was a pretty brilliant way to communicate unfair advantages to just about anyone. Basketball trialists are at an advantage if they are tall. Of course, in basketball terms, anything under 5 is, I don't even think you can even play.
I resemble that remark.
But anything above, obviously 6 feet, 6'6", anything over 6 feet and 6 inches, to any basketball coach or scout, you already have an unfair advantage. Certain trialists have even before they bounce or dribble the ball. Just because they're tall, they're going to be looked at a little bit differently. Now, that guy who's 6'6" and could be great for basketball probably can't do the same thing for horse racing, where you're adding additional height and weight on top of a horse is going to make it slower. Or even, F1 racing, which is the person's weight actually weighs down the car. But in this case, their expectation for that player has already been elevated over other players. Now, the shorter players therefore have more work to do to impress the scouts than the taller ones. I came across this book because I was in a YouTube course learning how to do better for you guys and for myself and become a better YouTuber generally. Hasan was invited to become a guest speaker, and it really helped me. All of us, dug fairly deep into what some of our unique advantages are, or disadvantages in this case. Ashley and Hasan made it abundantly clear throughout the book that the unfair advantages are unique. Everyone actually has a very different one based on a lot of factors, some that are within your control and some that are without your control. Now, when you stop to think about it on who should read this book, I would say anyone looking to find their voice for social reasons, for workplace, to start a business, whatever it happens to be. If you're looking on how you can differentiate yourselves and you want to look within, this is the right book. Let me tell you a little bit on how the book changed me. Now, I really enjoyed reading it. It was one of the books that I actually read a while back, and I have come back to it. If you want to take a look at my entire reading list, that is on my website as well as on my Instagram bio. The book talks about other startup factors, like a startup guide, let's put it. The real value for me was the Miles framework, which is money, intelligence, insight, location, and luck, education, expertise, status. There's a couple of duplicates there, of course, but when I found this book at the time, I was trying to tap into my own unfair advantages, and it changed my way of thinking to a way that was a little more dynamic. Straight away, I think I was able to identify a few that have been able to help me throughout my journey. I'll give you an example, right? So for me, I had the privilege to be born in Brazil. Now, where I was from, a very small city, small state, and a lot of people there, you just don't have the same opportunities as someone who's living here in the US. It allows me to view the world a little bit different, and I was obviously raised in a way that I'm much more grateful for the life that I have now, to the Lord, to my family, my parents. That gratitude is something I hold on to, and I don't forget where I come from. It's like Michael Jordan, right? When he got left out of high school tournament, and I don't know if you guys read his biography, it's really interesting, but he mentions that he never forgets that he looked at that list and saw all of the names of his colleagues who was selected, and his name was not on it. That was a unfair advantage that happened to actually, he used it to feed a lot of the appetite and the competitive drive that he took not only into college, but into the NBA. So when I'm thinking about these things, and when you're doing this like post-mortem retrospective of your life, look for those things. For me, again, being Brazilian, I had the privilege to grow up speaking Portuguese, but also English, and then I picked up Spanish. So right off the bat, I had an unfair advantage because I moved around a lot, spoke a lot of different languages. How was I able to use that for my benefit? Well, when I was younger, one of the best and first gigs that I got was actually being a translator, and I can translate between these 3 languages, and it actually was really good pay. It was something that I was able to do remote, and I was fairly young at the time, but not a lot of people speak 3 languages and had the availability that I had being so young. So some of the summary notes for me was obviously to identify your unfair advantages. Take time to reflect on your unique strengths, experiences, circumstances that actually give you an edge in various aspects of life. And this is important to do because I think oftentimes people begin to feel sorry for themselves over something over and over and over. And this really is asking you to change that and look at a negative in a different way. How can that negative potentially become a positive? I'm not saying that to be insensitive to anyone's situation. Neither is, author of this book.
I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
It's just wanting you to have a different perspective, whether it's financial resources, intelligence, insights, maybe location, education, your expertise, status. Recognizing these advantages can actually empower you to leverage them effectively and actually achieve your goals and your dreams. The other thing that comes to mind is that the book really helps you cultivate a mindset that balances a lot of self-awareness and self-belief. This is a reality growth mindset type of thing where it describes in the book, and it involves having your feet on the ground while keeping your head in the clouds. So interesting concept. Stay grounded in the present reality while maintaining your vision for your future growth, success. Vision, resourcefulness, constant learning, and perseverance, obviously being constant in what you're doing, are actually essential characteristics of this specific mindset. And of course, utilize the Miles framework introduced in this book to categorize and understand different types of unfair advantages, whether it's, again, money or intelligence, insight, looks, luck, maybe expertise. Each category essentially represents potential areas where you can gain an upper hand. And by strategically leveraging these advantages, you can maximize your opportunities for success, not only in personal, but also in professional endeavors as well. If you want to dive more into this unfair advantage world, one of my biggest unfair advantages is that I didn't have a lot of investing financial knowledge when I was growing up. So I am changing that by essentially this entire YouTube channel, my website, how I'm looking to learn and participate in this journey with you. I'm essentially obviously learning and then teaching, and I'm on this journey right side with you. Part of that is, again, changing the way you look at things. So if you have this poor mindset versus an abundance, prosperity mindset, not talking about the prosperity gospel here, it's important for you to change the way you're looking at things, looking at your situation. My next video is going to be something similar to this, but we're going to be talking about the book that is very well known, A Random Walk Down Wall Street, and it's going to be invaluable for building wealth, giving you an additional resource. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, so you don't miss out on any future reflections, insights, and videos. And always check out the community for some of my active investments and provoking discussions. You guys have a good day. God bless you. See you in the next video.